customers. Now, Ghana's most wanted, Nana Appiah Mensah, Chief Executive Officer of defunct Men's Gold dealership firm, is back in Ghana, but already under arrest and in custody of the police CID. He's been denied bail and expected to be arraigned tomorrow on charges of defrauding by false pretense and money laundering. You do recall his company Men's Gold collected funds in investments from many Ghanaians, promising them huge sums in return. Although some gained, many others had their funds locked up after it was shut down by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Thousands of customers have periodically poured onto the streets to demand payment of the investments saved with his defunct gold dealership firm. Well, the CID has been briefing the media on details of his arrest. Here is Public Relations Officer DSP Juliana Obeng.
So, the Chief Executive Officer of Men's Gold, Mr. Nana Appiah Mensah, popularly known as NAM1, is presently in the custody of the Criminal Investigations Department headquarters. This follows an Interpol alert issued for the accused, NAM1. He was handed over to Interpol Ghana by Interpol Dubai today for the continuation of the investigations that started 2018. Updates on this would follow. Thank you.
So, NAM1 is back. So, should Men's Gold customers be relieved, or will they be jumping the gun? Joining me later in the studio is Isaac Nyako, the Vice Chairman for aggrieved Men's Gold customers. But before we get to that conversation, let's bring back sentiments of the customers when he was away.
We want to see them paying. We are not more interested in any 15%, and we need our money. We need our money. Our hard-earned investment is with them. People are dying. People are sick and they can't afford to pay medical bills. It is time we start kicking against Men's Gold. Initially, we were very loyal to them because we thought that what happened, we were going to consider them. And now we cannot more afford it.
Yoko said they are seizing assets. Where are the assets they are seizing? They should let us know what is going on. The assets, how much they are going to sell it, and how much they are going to pay us. How many percentage are we going to get? We cannot just let the money go like that. All this money, at least, they should give us something so that we will be okay. But they're not giving us anything unto date. And it's really painful. So to me, the government should sit up, and we will always say the government, because SEC did this and they did wrong. If they will close it, they should have protected our investments before closing it down. You don't close it, and then how do you expect to protect our investments? This is not supposed to happen, and it's unfair. It's unfair. We are also citizens. We pay taxes too, so he should pay us our money. That is it. They should give us our money. That is what we are asking for. Money, peace. Money is our blood.
Money is our blood. So that was one of the frustrated Men's Gold customers you saw there. So I'm joined in the studio by Isaac Nyako. Exactly. Introduce yourself again.
I'm Isaac Nyako, the Vice Chairman for the Coalition of Aggrieved Customers.
Coalition of Aggrieved Customers. Okay, so, I mean, you were demanding the return of NAM1. NAM1 is here now. How do you feel that now that he's here?
Yes, very relieved. Very relieved. I mean, that's what we've been asking for in most of our agitations, demonstrations. We've been asking that government do as much as possible to bring NAM1 back to Ghana to go through the processes, and then most importantly, whatever processes he goes through should lead to we customers retrieving our monies and having our monies in full.
Okay, so I do understand your money is on top of your mind right now, and you are demanding the return of those monies, the locked up funds. But we do understand he's going to court tomorrow. You know, he's going to go through the legal processes. from what we're told by his lawyers. And, you know, that can travel quite far. What's the guarantee that you'll get your money anytime soon?
And we believe as a government that think about the people, I mean, the suffering masses who have lost their monies. I mean, the main agenda or the main focus should be the customers who are suffering, not the jailing of the CEO, NAM1. We are not much interested in the jailing of the NAM1. But most importantly, they should be able to put up procedures
but you
that
might
will
not be interested in him being jailed. But if he's violated the laws of Ghana, he's been charged with, you know, defrauding by false pretense, for one. He must go through the system. So whether it is you want him to be jailed or not is not the question here.
Yeah, the question is government prepared to help NAM1 retrieve whatever monies that were awarded to him from the Court of Appeal from Dubai? If government is prepared to help, why would you focus on jailing the guy now when we will be waiting to receive our monies that long? Why not focus on retrieving the monies from Dubai now, and then let's get the customers to have their monies, rather than focusing on jailing the guy at this point, knowing very well that legal process will take a very long time. So we should have a focus on the customers.
You talk about the legal process taking a long time, and it's indeed true. Even in the case of the Dubai court, which has granted NAM1 the opportunity to retrieve his money from that company, we do know that it's not going to be a short process. It's likely to take a long while. So what's your guarantee that you're going to get your monies anytime soon?
Oh, from our understanding, we were told that from our sources that, I mean, the Dubai Horizon, Royal Horizon, that took NAM1 to court, have been given up to maximum of 3 weeks or 4 weeks to settle the gentleman of its monies. So if we have about 1 month to retrieve the monies from Royal Horizon, why wouldn't you focus on pushing the buttons in Dubai to make sure those monies come down as quick as possible?
Is that what you're hanging your hopes on now? But what if in the event that Royal Horizon is not able to pay Mr. Appiah Mensah the amount of money due him? What do you do then? What are your alternatives and options?
No, we know very well. We've had interactions with Deputy Attorney General, and from what we heard from him, tells us that Royal Horizon is not a small company. It's a very huge company in Dubai, and they are capable of paying NAM1 his monies. And to add to it, NAM1 from history has done over $1 billion business with Royal Horizon over the years. So the company should be in the position to be able to pay NAM1 the monies.
And if they are not?
If they are not, we don't look at they are not. It's capable. And whatever assets he has, we are looking forward to. I mean, government negotiating. We don't really look at disposing his assets to pay us now. Let the cash come. Whatever issues he's got, I mean, we'll look at it with the assets liquidation and all that. That will take a long process. Those are court issues. It will take a long process. Currently, there's cash available to be given. So whatever it is, get the cash down and let's have the monies to be disbursed to the people. And one more thing we ask is we want fairness. I mean, there should be a committee set that, I mean, customers will be involved, men's gold management will be involved, government officials will be involved. Just like their lawyers wrote to Attorney General and corporate government and all other government officials.
A committee which will do what specifically?
That will ensure the proper disbursement of the monies as and when the inflows come into the country. That everybody will see fairness and there wouldn't be anything like protocol, backdoor payments here and there, and other customers will feel aggrieved that their monies are delayed because others are being paid and they are being left out. I mean, that issue shouldn't happen.
Right. Remind us again, how many are your members?
We coalition alone, the numbers that we have been able to gather per our database, we are close to 9,000.
9,000?
Yes, coalition of agri customers alone. We don't know of others. You know, when FFU requested that customers come and provide their database at the police CID headquarters, quite a number of them went on their own, and which they weren't part of our group. Okay. So we can't account for those people.
So it is 9,000 and probably more.
And more.
And probably more.
And more.
And how much in estimate? How much in estimate are you owed?
Well, I mean, the accuracy of that database for now, we can't really give exact figure on it. We can't give exact figure on it. If I give you now, whatever data we had, we going through screening. Some people did double entries of their informations, and we're trying to sieve them to be able to get the accurate figure. But we believe the authorities by now have the accurate figures.
Right,
yes.
Right. And finally, before I let you off, I know you've been in touch with the management of Men's School, the defunct Men's School. What are they telling you with respect to, you know, you getting your monies back?
They've assured us that they are capable of paying us. Over the period, we've had meetings with NAM's father in his absence. We have had meetings with management of Men's School, included, and they've all assured us that they are capable of paying customers. But as it stands now, where the issue has gotten to, that means we need a collaboration with government. We can't leave Men's Gold alone to do the payments, and we can't leave government alone to do the payment. There need to be a team. It should be a teamwork to the disbursement of whatever inflows that comes from Dubai. And we are very sure that the Horizon people are capable of.
You sound very optimistic.
Very. A lot of our members are dying, and we need to give them hope.
Okay, all right.
Some are in sick beds, and it's so bad. Okay. The stories that you hear, it's so bad.
Okay, I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And so that was Isaac Nyako. He is Vice President of the Aggrieved Men's Gold Customers, a coalition of Aggrieved Men's Gold customers. And we were billed to speak to lawyer for Mr. Nana Appiah, but as and when we do get him, we will bring you that interview. Moving on, Vice President Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia says government, through the Ministry for Monitoring and Evaluation, has instituted a program to track the release of budgetary allocation to the various ministries and agencies. This, according to him, is part of measures to ensure that government delivers on programs and policies within stipulated timelines. The Vice President was speaking at the second Evidence to Action Conference at the University of Ghana. Ernest Meno reports.
The Evidence to Action Conference seeks to bridge the gap between research and policy at the governmental level. For Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, government is committed to using the evidence of research work from academia and think tanks to formulate policies for the country.
With good leadership, the development of policies and practices in Africa, guided by research and evaluation findings, is what is needed to transform the lives and livelihoods of our people. Then the recently introduced quarterly implementation progress reports that track budget releases are helping to accelerate the implementation of our priority projects. Because sometimes, in fact, not sometimes, many a time, when you look at the red marks, you say, what is happening? The minister will say, they haven't given me the money. The budget hasn't been released for this project. And so now we are saying not only track the progress, but also track the budget releases so that we can marry the two and make sure that the resources are available to execute the specific projects.
The Minister for Monitoring and Evaluation, Dr. Anthony Akotosei, says building the capacity of personnel at the various ministries and agencies is a challenge they are working to address.
As we go around all the ministries, we are having to do a lot of training. In the past, these departments have existed, but they have not focused on the monitoring and evaluation part. So we are lacking with that. Now, having each ministry have a team of people who are concentrating on specific objectives in the short term helps, but capacity is an issue. It's part of the reason why we are collaborating with ISE and ICE in having this international workshop.
Meanwhile, his ministry will soon begin the evaluation of flagship programs, including free SHS.
Going forward, we probably need to begin some work on proper evaluation. So far, we've been doing monitoring, but now we have to do some proper evaluation, particularly on programs such as the Planting for Food and free SHS.
Attorney General Gloria Kufuor admits the outcomes of the ministry's monitoring has ensured her outfit meets its timelines in the area of legislation.
When we started, the minister asked each MMDA to identify a number of objects that you intend to attain within the period of our service. And they have made sure that we make returns. Not only that, initially they actually train personnel from my office so that they are conversant with the reporting system. So you have to return periodically where you are with these things. So that data feeds back to them. They analyze and make sure that you are meeting your timelines.
For Joy News, Ernest Menu.
Our Health Minister, Chima, has promised the Tepa District Hospital project, which had been abandoned for more than 2 years, would be completed and handed over to government by March 2020. The project, which began in 2014, was scheduled to be executed in 4 years, but remains uncompleted for various reasons. It's one of the 5 projects initiated by the previous NDC government to reduce congestion in health facilities in the Ashanti region. Love FM's Chima has more.
Unlike other health facilities in the region, which stalled after government changed in 2017, work has progressed at Tepa, but at a slow pace. Staff of the construction firm were on site at the time of the minister's visit. Presently, block and concrete work has been completed, awaiting installation of equipment. Minister for Health, Kweku Ajimameno, gives reasons for delay.
Tepa, we have contractors on site. We had challenges with tax exemption issues. Those things have been resolved. They are now clearing their goods from the port without any challenges. So work is being done. My engagement with them indicates that by first quarter, end March next year, this place will be very functional. We are pushing them to try to see what they can do for us to bring the time forward, because residents and communities have been waiting for quite a long time. Government thinks that this project has been completed by now. So we are pushing. Probably December, they indicated that they will start commissioning and testing, and I think that will be good for us. We will come back here in December to spend Christmas here, so that we will see installed facility, equipment, and then we'll join them in testing and commissioning.
Contractors assured government they will deliver within the revised schedule. Khalid Hamid is resident engineer for Aerojet Group, which is executing the project.
By March.
What are some of the things that you've done so far?
Most of the construction work we have done, we are waiting only for the medical equipment now, for the furniture, for the medical equipment, for the medical gas. We have finished 95% of the medical gas system. Some of the theater lights, the theaters is in place already, and we start to deliver to sites.
Contractors on 2 of the other 5 health facilities are on site. Mr. Menu says the ministry is resolving outstanding issues to get contractors on other projects back on site. Nanaya Chima reporting.
Now, a 19-year-old orphan who was convicted by a magistrate court in Koforidua in the Eastern region for stealing plantain has been released. Solomon Aklote, a barber by profession, was saved from serving the 2-month jail term handed him after pleading guilty. He was fined 600 Ghana cedis but was unable to pay. Here's Kofi Sian's report read to you.
The release comes after a host of newsfowl, Samson Ladia and his guest, Noftong MP Samuel Okujetu Ablakwa, editor-in-chief of the New Crusading Guide newspaper, Kweku Baku, private legal practitioner Martin Pebu, and General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, Dr. Justice Youngson, touched by the teenager's plight, contributed 1,100 Ghana cedis to free him. The 600 Ghana cedis fine has been paid to the court registry. All other processes have been satisfied, leading to his release from the Koforidua prison. Solomon told Joy News he regrets stealing the foodstuff.
I will not do this again.
While narrating his time spent in custody, Solomon expressed discontent with the treatment he received there.
officers in this time and me catch her. To me catch her, and I'm afraid small boy back. So I'm the family now. Uncle, you meeting him, and I'm the family now. This seasons. On the day I was taken into custody, the officers asked me to give an account of what had transpired. After that, a young boy was called to shave my hair. I was left in the hands of a cell leader who took me to a part of the prison called Zongo, where I was kept until my release. It's a big room with 84 of us lodged in. They wake us up at 5 a.m. and we pray for an hour, after which we are allowed to go outside. At Zongo, we sleep on the floor. 5 o'clock. Na ya bompa ya inside or sawana. 6 o'clock na mo ye. Ya doesn't go more ni na ya doesn't so. Ni shi ya me catch na nia. Bese me catch me say. All I can say is that God bless those who secured my release, and I'll never do such a thing until I die.
Joy News Eastern Regional Correspondent Edwin Kofisian, who liaised with the prosecutor of the case, Chief Inspector Solomon Richmond Kilson, to secure Aklote's freedom, later presented the remaining amount of 500 Ghana cedis to the family for the upkeep of his 1-year-old child. Efforts are also being made to get Aklote a psychologist or a counselor to help him overcome his problems. His uncle, Alex Seth Nati, on behalf of the family, appreciated the intervention of the Newsfile team and appealed for support to set up a barbering shop for his son, who he said had stolen the plantain so he could cater for his child and girlfriend, who is also an orphan.
We appreciate what you've done to me, because without them, I have nothing to do. So we take God to thank them for what they have done. You too, very hard. He lost his mother at the age of 4, the father at the age of 7. So from that time going on, he was being taken care by the sisters and the family around. So as this thing happened now, I hope that will let him get a fine sense for a better change.
And he's kind of, he has a son?
Yes. He got one wife, a son. The wife too lost his mother last 2 years, and the father too the same at the time. So she get nowhere to go. She live with us in a good mood. She expects us to. So this is what I know about him.
That's our story there. You're still watching Joy News Prime. We're taking a short break. Thanks for staying with us. Now, lives are in danger at the Bopwase Roman Catholic Primary School in the Ashanti region as children and teachers are compelled to use weak and dilapidated classrooms. School authorities report some casualties as children fall off in an attempt to climb the erosion-induced hanging structure of the 88-year-old block. Parents are compelled to withdraw their wards in droves, with enrollment dropping from 650 to 437 in the last 1 year. My colleague Ohiming Teria visited the school and his father's report.
Bopwase Roman Catholic Primary School, the first to be established in 1931 for people in around this community, was built of mud. Like many schools, despite producing thousands of people to augment the country's human resource base, its present state leaves much to be desired. Classroom blocks with deep cracks in the walls and potholed floors have become unfriendly. In fact, death traps to children and teachers. Frederick Ajiman schooled here in the 1970s.
The school was progressing in many directions. It was the first school in town, and it was progressing in many directions in terms of education, in terms of sports and chorus and everything. But of late, because the building was a turd, that is the mud turd, now it's old. So one of the buildings has collapsed. The other one is a death trap. The KG block has deteriorated to the sense that when it is raining, the children will have to be moved to join others. So we are currently appealing to individuals and philanthropists and anybody who can help to come to our aid for us to be able to support the case, because the future of our children depends on the children today. And to have a good citizen is to have a good education. So we are appealing to all and sundry to come and support the school.
Classrooms for these kindergarten pupils have been left hanging as a result of erosion. Children struggle to climb into the classroom using their bare hands for support on dusty ground.
It's very dangerous. At times when they want to climb to their classroom, they need to use their hands to climb. And when it is raining, it's very bad. We need to move them to a different classroom before they can study. We have to add them to either class 1 or class 2 before we can close and then go home. So it's very bad considering the kids, their age, because they are in KG. And then we have around 37 pupils in the classroom, so it's not happening at all.
At least 3 pupils are reported to have fallen and suffered fractures in the first term of this academic year alone. Parents are left with no option but to withdraw their wars, leaving head teacher Beta Asuamadapa and her staff helpless.
For 3 kids, they were coming out because it was break time, and you see kids with food, so they were running for their food, and then whilst they were coming, they fell from the hole there. So they injured. One was their leg, and the one was the hand, and the third one there was a bruise here. So what happened to them? And the parents, they wouldn't take it cool with us when something happens to them. So we took them and we took the finance of it.
Has it ever been
a lot? Because when I came, the enrollment was around 6 something, but now we are around 437. So they come, they tell us, Madam, if it's not because of you, we would have taken them, blah, blah, blah. But we are still speaking to them that they should leave them because something good is on the way coming.
The school is on the list of dilapidated schools submitted to the district assembly by education authorities for attention, but officials say no immediate intervention is available. Michael Opoku is presiding member.
Then afterwards, there have been a lot of letters that have been written that had go to our level there. We've received a lot of letters from the assembly members here, from the Nananum, from the church. But the thing is, availability of funds. We've seen this situation. So some of us who have advocated for the old students to come in.
From Kumasi for Joy News, Ohiminteria reporting.
Now, after months of preparation, weeks of nail-biting contests and renewal of academic rivalries, it all came down to the grand finale. Presec and St. Augustine's College, as well as St. Peter's, served up a National Science and Maths quiz blockbuster fit for a festival. In the end, it was the Central Region-based St. Augustine's College which secured the all-new bronze trophy, the trip to Dubai and Kenya, cash prize, and of course, bragging rights. Here is how it all went down.
Quiz mistress Dr. Elsie Efa Kaufman would call for calm to help contestants settle and keep their focus.
Before we start the next round, please take a moment to take a deep breath and calm down.
Maybe the hopes and expectations of the schools weighed a load on them, a dream to have a 6th for Presec, to stamp the authority and win a back-to-back for the 3-time champion St. Peter's, and of course to win a 2nd in 12 years for St. Augustine's. In the eyes of the contestants, you could see desire. It would be a close contest up until the 3rd round. And with an NSMQ Star Award at stake in the 3rd round for a school to obtain a perfect score about a question on Down syndrome, the outcome was near fatal.
As for mentioning estrogen, I'm giving you 1 point. You also went around and around and around. I can only give you 1 point for mentioning mutation. 1. You realize the link between this condition? No, don't be so enthusiastic. You realize the link between this condition and non-disjunction. So I can only offer you 1 point.
At this stage, St. Augustine's would keep at least an 8-point lead, Presec following closely, and then St. Peter's in third. Then the defining round, the round of the substitutes.
Selassie, all the best. Hey.
Super sub for Ogasco, Newton, Jimmy, Steven, and Nathaniel Yao-Mensah of Presec will be ushered in. And right at it, they got the crowds chanting with the first few correct answers to the true-false questions. A few anxious and sometimes nervy moments will follow. Ogasco would get a couple of their answers wrong.
X is greater than 6 is 4. The particles eventually collide if U subscript big A multiplying A subscript big A is equal to U subscript big B multiplying A subscript big B. Go ahead.
False.
No.
At the end of the fourth, a gap of at least 8 was slashed to 2.
At the end of the 4th round, St. Peter's Senior High School has 25 points. Presec Legon has 34 points. St. Augustine's College has 36 points.
With Nathaniel leading a Presec fight back.
The particles eventually collide if U subscript big A is equal to U subscript big B. Yes, Nathaniel.
False.
Yes.
Hard as St. Peter's pulled up, they were unable to simply catch up, leaving the 5th round going to the wire and the 2-horse race between Ogasco and Presec. At this stage, the Presec fans were optimistic a comeback was possible. But Newton and Co would hold on to the end. 39, 34, 25. The 2018 champions would not retain the trophy. And as PESCO contestant Michael Obin declared in the beginning,
Michael, I have to ask you, are you seeing Egyptians around today?
It is written. In the book of John, chapter 19, verse 30. And when Jesus had therefore taken the vinegar, he said 3 words. It is finished.
A new champion.
Congratulations on winning the contest. You did it.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the new trophy for the National Science and Maths Quiz is going to St. Augustine's Senior High School.
Fulfilled contestants, brag-ready old students.
We didn't come to joke, so we've won, proving to the whole world that yes, we are the best. We are elated. Wow. Yes. We are happy beyond measure. Yes. We are at cloud 9. Yes. We are happy than happier.
And a whole new resolve to go and return stronger next year.
And we say congratulations to St. Augustine's College. You've done a yeoman's job, and I'm sure the celebration will travel throughout the night. You've earned it. Anyway, meanwhile, at the campus of the Presbyterian Boys Senior High School, Legon, the contestants were giving a resounding welcome. This is what transpired.
that we were going to take the cup. We were cocksure we were going to take the cup. God knows best. But our boys have made us very proud.
Indeed, the time is now. We just missed it a little, but the slogan has not changed. The time is still now. Very, very now. And so we'll continue. We just have about 12 months to actualize our slogan.
We gave all the schools in Ghana 10 years. They couldn't get 5. That's true. And they couldn't. And they couldn't even get one back-to-back. But then we've come back, and the time is now. So we are going for it, and we will take it. Thank you.
PRESEC remains PRESEC, and we are proud of our achievements. And our preparation for 2020 starts now. Yes, and for 2020, no two ways. We are in for the trophy.
I would like to thank all of you. I actually thought, as the second always do, they'll sell out. So we'll just come here quietly and then go home. But I thank you for your support. Even though we're still second, you are still here. Like, as if, I'm not sure Augustine's boys are doing what you are doing. Though we've come here, like, we've completed our part. But then what we've done, we hope that it will serve as a source of inspiration for all of you. Because we've now become part of the past, but you squad are the future. So then you have to sit up and learn and prepare yourself for 2021. So that 2021, we'll know that we are taking it back to back after taking it in 2020. Thank you.
All is not lost. We still have next year. So my team and I are going to put in all what we have to our juniors so that next year they'll be able to bring the trophy. So don't worry, we really have a strong Form 2 team. So we are very sure next year we'll bring the trophy back to PRESEC.
Oh, this is the school they wanted to go. Hey, they wanna be on that year. Hey, they wanna be on that year. Hey, they wanna be on that year. This is the school they wanted to go.
And congratulations to them too. They're down but not out. Now, although the trophy eluded the defending champions, St. Peter's Senior High School, students there say they are proud of their team. The teachers promise to correct their mistakes and bounce back in 2020.
But actually, you know, our strength used to be in round 1 and round 2. But some way, somehow, it looks as if the tension, the stage fright was so high for our guys. And they just couldn't, you know, not come out boldly to tackle the questions that were posed to them. But at the end of the day, we are still grateful because you can see that through resilience, commitment, and confidence, they came up from 11 points to 25. You could just imagine. So that was a very great performance put up by our guys. You know, St. Peter's, victory for St. Peter's is a victory for St. Augustine's. And a victory for St. Augustine is a victory for St. Peter's.
Because of why?
Because of the Catholic Alliance. Okay. Yes, because of the Catholic Alliance. You know, we entered into an alliance. And the alliance is that St. Augustine will be celebrating their anniversary very soon. So we agreed that we will lend them the cup this year so they can celebrate their... Yes.
Yeah, your boys were so hopeful in the morning. Your boys were so hopeful in the morning that you were doing back to back to the effect that you had a slogan back to back. So yes, you are telling us a different story.
In the morning, we had not yet come to conclusion. Okay. But in the course of the contest, we agreed that we'll lend them the cup this year, so that next year, God willing, they'll bring it back.
Like there is no, how will I say it? There is no like gap intervals. If you see the scores, if you got the scores, how we were from 11th, like it was splendid.
But you still scored the lowest point.
We know.
We started together.
Yeah, we know.
The same opportunity.
Yes, we know. You know, our boys were shattered. They were frightened.
Why?
Because at the first round, how things went on, it was.
What went wrong?
Like how the madam was. So he was on us. Seriously, the madam was on us. We don't know, but we hopefully next year is for us.
Interesting reasons there for their defeat. But the campus of St. Augustine's College in Cape Coast was the place to be after the college won the National Science and Maths Quiz. Headmaster, staff and parents joined the students to celebrate the victory. Headmaster of the college, Joseph Connell, says the victory wouldn't have been possible without the support of the old boys and members of staff of the school.
So it's been electrifying on the campus of St. Augustine's, and they had some nervy moments. It was too close a contest, such that it got to a point that people were sitting on the edge of their seats because the gap was being closed by Presec Legon. But they started praying, and with each passing round, they said some prayers. It was 12 o'clock, and they said the Angelus. They prayed every other round. But when we were starting, the headmaster of St. Augustine's College was optimistic. Yeah. He was absolutely sure that the cup was definitely going to come to Cape Coast because they've never been to the finals and never, brought the cup home. So, congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir.
How do you feel as the headmaster of the school that has just won this coveted trophy?
Let me say that when victory is won the hard way, it's very sweet. So I'm very excited, I'm so happy, and I congratulate my team for working hard to come out with this victory.
Wow. So what was going through your mind when St. Augustine's took the lead, and then steadily the gap was being closed, and it got to a point that it was just a 2-mark margin? How were you feeling?
Well, it was not easy though. Along the line, we realized that there were some few faults here and there, Presec closed up. But then yesterday I was in Accra with my team. I talked to them, I talked to the boys, and I told them that before one becomes champion, one must beat the best. Yes. And so this contest will not be easy, and that they should persevere, as our motto says. Perseverance conquers all, until the quiz mistress comes out with a final result. They should not relent. So I was not surprised that even when Presec closed up, my boys still kept their cool and then worked on to victory.
So if you are given the power to give these students some break, some holiday, depending on the success that has been chalked, as the headmaster, how many days are you going to give them?
Oh, I see. When you talk about holidays, it is, for instance, today it was more of a holiday. We did not go to class, we were at the assembly hall, we enjoyed the program and all that. God willing, the Green Track brothers who are also here, they will join them and all that. So let's wait. The team is in Accra. They will come, we'll put up the package and they will hear it. So they shouldn't worry.
Congratulations again to St. Augustine's College. They persevered and they clinched the ultimate prize. Away from that, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has described the African Continental Free Trade Agreement as the beginning of economic emancipation for countries on the continent. He says government will be taking the necessary steps to ensure the country takes advantage of it. Trade Minister Alan Chamanting was in Parliament on Thursday to brief MPs on Ghana's win of the bid to host the body secretariat.
This program of action to boost intra-African trade, otherwise referred to as BIAT, Boosting Intra-African Trade, BIAT. This program addresses 7 priority clusters: trade policy, trade facilitation, enhancing productive capacity through industrialization, providing trade-related infrastructure, including transportation and telecommunications, trade finance, trade information, and factor market integration. Mr. Speaker, each country is required to identify specific areas of comparative advantage and strategic focus for diversification and develop value chains for both goods and services. Mr. Speaker, what is Ghana already doing to harness the benefits of this CFTA? Mr. Speaker, Ghana has already started implementing a comprehensive program agenda for industrial transformation, and this is in line with the BIAT program of action that I've just referred to. This is all to put Ghana in a state of readiness to take advantage of the CFTA. Some of the interventions currently being pursued by government under these priority clusters are the following.
The Black Stars were losing, and wondering to myself how this has befallen us. First time to lose to Tunisia. But then on the Saturday, Mr. Speaker, the decision had been made in Niger for Ghana to host the AFCTA. And I wondered whether we were losing sight of this great event that was occurring in our country right under our noses and just blithely accepting it, Mr. Speaker. So now that we have a clarity of where we are and out of the cup, I think we can sit to really internalize the import of what has been gifted to us by the Lord.
This is an exciting time for Ghana, and this is a matter which should bring enormous joy and pride to all of us as Ghanaians. Indeed, all patriots and nationalists must celebrate this news, the successful bid that has culminated in Ghana being selected by the Africa Union to host the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat. Mr. Speaker, in celebrating this news, it is only fit and proper that we congratulate the Honorable Minister for Trade and Industry who led the effort, having been delegated by His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to work with the Foreign Minister, the Honorable Shelley Ayokoboche, to lead Ghana's effort